Thank you
Dr.
very much.
Now, I think we can see your screen now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ma'am. Respected Swamiji, honored guests, and fellow participants, I send my namaskar, salam to all of you. I've been listening to some of the talks, and I think Swamiji has done, in his own way, a balance of getting the external and the internal aspects of everything. At times, I even think, why am I speaking? Because there's not much to be said. Everyone knows what is to be said. It's about the doing part, as the previous speaker has said. Well, anyway, what I do is I'm probably going to keep it completely non-medical and I keep it very spiritual, perhaps. So, and in doing so, I'm telling myself this is a revision for myself so that I can deepen my learning and understanding. So any shortcomings are mine, and I give all praise to God for all the inspiration that God provides. So I had the privilege of presenting my spiritual master Jilani Saab's talk yesterday. And one of the feedback given to me was, while there are theoretical aspects, if one can focus on the practical application of some of these concepts. So today I thought, while I'll try to do that, I'm more of a contextual person, but then of course application is equally important. So the way I've chosen this photograph in this introductory slide, I've not mentioned it, but perhaps those pile of stones precariously balanced, maybe the key message that I would give, this whole system about internal and external, theoretical versus practical, it's all about balance. So let me proceed. Delineating context and content is vital for clarity of thought. Context gives meaning to the content. In our example, the content here is some sort of a liquid which occupies the number of containers that it's poured in. Despite its many forms, you may be seeing that there is an underlying oneness. Now, some of you might say, well, I don't agree with you, because it could be that the teacup has tea in it, whereas the bottle has milk in it and the cup might have juice in it. But let me urge you to try and see the oneness. At the end of the day, it is still the liquid. The context in which we approach a subject, like the vessel that holds the fluid, shapes the meaning and depth of our understanding. And this I call the game of one. There is that oneness. People like Swamiji remind us to see the oneness despite the multiplicity that we see everywhere. I've seen my master Jilani Saab with Swamiji there, and it's such a beautiful reminder of these personalities who are spreading the light in the world. I've come to learn that Gu means darkness and Ru is to dispel. So Guru is the one who dispels the darkness of ignorance by bringing the knowledge of certainty. To explain this, I will convey a Sufi story. A disciple did not know what a rose is. So the Guru took him to his garden, gave his disciple a rose flower, and instructed him to smell it. The next time the disciple came, the Guru asked for a rose incense stick to be lighted. The disciple could smell the rose, but could not see the flower and was a bit baffled. Guru explained that the form does not matter. It is the experienced essence that will give him the certainty. The next time the disciple was served a gulab jamun, and immediately he identified the rose in the sweet. Thus, the Guru works on building certainty within the disciple. Yesterday, we learned the analogy of the protective lantern and the inner flame. At its core, Islamic spirituality has three fundamental principles: Tawheed, the oneness of God; Akhirah, the belief in the hereafter; and Adl, the divine justice. These principles are not isolated. They are intricately interwoven, forming the fabric of Islamic thought that guides Muslims in pursuing justice and peace. A lantern without a flame is useless, and a flame without a lantern risks being blown out. So how does one light the inner flame and then safely sustain it? Another sustainability question. Let us read a prayer asking for the lighting of the inner flame and guidance on its sustenance. The divine guidance comes with the bestowing of wisdom and the company of the righteous, like the Guruji or the Peer or the Murshid in Sufi language. Right knowledge, right provision, and right deeds are needed to achieve that sustenance. Each of us is a vessel in which our thoughts expand towards knowingness and away from doubt. The oneness within, the core of certainty, becomes apparent as we embrace the teachings with gratitude, sincerity, and genuine desire for spiritual growth. This leads us to certainty. First, as knowledge, which is called ilmul yaqeen, then the vision, which is ainul yaqeen, and finally experience, which is the haqqul yaqeen. This journey, described in 3 simple steps, can take a lifetime and more. Sufism, in essence, is the inward journey in search of God that passes through the milestones of reconciliation, renunciation, awareness, culminating in connection and reliance, leading to the purification of the soul. The emphasis on meditation, reflection, contemplation, and purification aligns with its core principles. In this journey, humility emerges as a recurrent theme, and sincerity in every action is for the sake of God. So while we say a lot of words, at the end of the day, it is the implementation of this. I've practiced as a medic, I've practiced, I've been a researcher, but I think while we talk about peace, while we talk about reconciliation, these, as the previous speaker said, have to go beyond words. They have to come into each one of us. Only then can we find that peace that we're looking for at a communal level. And of course, while they all appear simple theoretically, the journey to the core needs a traveler with sincere intention, a clear roadmap, and a competent guide. Sincerity in intention is vital at each step, whether it is about going to school, whether it's about doing a piece of work, whether it's about treating a patient. One cannot reconcile without sincerity. Hence, there is a prayer, as we say in many aspects of Islamic tradition. But unfortunately, a lot of it then becomes just words without the sincerity of intention. Without the sincerity, it becomes the lantern without fire again. And this is by far the most important reason why we fail to reconcile despite our external efforts of prayer. You might have heard your Muslim friends insisting on halal food. While there is an externality to it, the essence of halal is the concept of right sustenance. This does not just apply to food. It is the right knowledge, provision, and deeds in every aspect of life. Lack of purity in this will impede progress on the inner path. I want to stress here, especially as a pediatrician, the importance of right sustenance when it comes to creation. God is our creator in the spiritual realm, but our mothers are our creators in the physical realm. Of course, fathers have to play a part. Right love, care, and nurture are vital for a healthy child. This is also true in the spiritual sense. Not only one only reaps what one sows, as they say. And while this is universally accepted, why are we surprised when it comes to harvesting what we have planted? Mercy, a quality deeply embedded in God, is sought and extended to all creation. Through acts of mercy, the Sufi transcends ego and becomes a vessel for divine grace, echoing the profound Islamic principle, as said in the Quran, "My mercy encompasses all things." In Sufi teachings, hope is the driving force that propels the seeker forward on the spiritual journey leading to certainty. The anticipation of God's infinite compassion and mercy ignites the flame of hope, dispelling the darkness of despair. As Rumi says, "Where there is a ruin, there is hope for treasure." Compassion begets mercy, and mercy fosters hope, and hope in turn deepens one's capacity for compassion. Together, they form the heartbeat of Islamic mysticism, or for that matter, any mysticism, resonating with the divine rhythm of love, forgiveness, and boundless optimism on the journey towards spiritual fulfillment. The hadith or narration of Jibreel unfolds a profound dialogue between the Archangel Jibreel or Gabriel and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, providing a roadmap for seekers on the path of spiritual enlightenment, or for those who seek peace, so-called externally. Jibreel questioned him about Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. And this guides us beyond the rituals into the depths of mystic understanding. In a mystic lens, this hadith invites contemplation on the significance of ihsan or excellence, which encapsulates worshipping God as if one sees him. This dimension of spiritual excellence challenges the Sufi to transcend the formalities of worship, cultivating an intimate connection with the divine that permeates every aspect of life, urging the seeker to embrace a holistic spirituality. It encourages a profound awareness that extends beyond the physical realm, inviting believers to embody the essence of worship, faith, and spiritual excellence in their everyday lives. Rumi often tells us good stories, and he tells us of a story of a cunning thief who finally repented. And once he repented, he transforms into a force for justice by joining the police force. And Rumi argues that this transformation makes this person a more certain than those who have never walked the path of being a thief. I leave you with Rumi's words of hope. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. I'd like to thank Swamiji and the foundation for giving this opportunity to share some of my thoughts, and also learn so much by attending and by your broadcasting on YouTube. Thank you so much.